It's difficult to talk about magic just sort of as if it's a neutral thing. It's always very contextual and specific to a culture and a time. Well, like the internet when it was first invented was sort of considered magic, a kind of magic. But that being said, I mean, there are these very specific historical contexts for practices of magic that would include things like witchcraft or divination, sorcery, alchemy, these sorts of things. And they really do exist across cultures. The idea of magic has kind of evolved over the last years of being this thing that there's like an unknowable process where things change. We don't always understand why, but the fact that they do deserves some respect, and it can be incorporated in our understanding of how things are. I remember when I was studying physics in college, I had my math professor. He told me that once you learn the basics of mathematics as a language, then what you get to do with it is invent new mathematics. You get to write it, basically. I remember I was reading a lot of biographies of mathematicians and physicists in those years, and they're all as kooky and imaginative and eccentric as artists or rock stars or, writers. They all are living at this sort of frontier of the language that they have learned to speak and to write in. And what they do with their language is try to make meaning out of the world. That feeling is a similar feeling that I have when I'm writing or making art. I'm trying to sort of articulate something in the language that I'm using, whether it's, fiction or sculpture or whatever. So for me, things like divination and astrology, they're just other systems of language that humans have invented. And just like something like a language, they change over time. It depends whom you're speaking to and in what context. So yeah, for me, they kind of all just exist in this way of meaning-making systems. Morgan Parker, who I love, she said, "Facts are fiction with state power." She's an American poet. She's just challenging and sort of interrogating how a fact comes to be a fact. How something like what we consider to be a fact becomes known as a fact. What sort of institutional power had to shore it up or consolidate it with meaning. And so I guess I'm just interested in how narratives of particular knowledges sort of get told over and over again, and how those narratives change at some point. It's not that I'm suspicious of facts. I just wonder how they got that way. It's like, not lost on me that most of the people that are interested in things like astrology and witchcraft are like queer, trans, gender nonconforming, sick, crip disabled, women, non-white people that come from legacies of colonial migration. The reasons for that are the same as they might have been several hundred years ago. That these are practices that can give one a sense of spiritual power when they do not have material power. It's not the same as material power, but it's important, the spiritual power that it can give them to feel like some kind of agency.